Hey, good people. I am seated here next to this wonderfully realistic palm tree to talk to you a little bit about the Dead Reckoning solo game. There are some fantastic videos up on the Kickstarter page for Dead Reckoning if you want to know how to play and all the cool things that come with it and some of their impressions. I'll leave that to the better content creators. Right now, I'm just here with my phone to tell you some cool things about the solo. So, by way of a disclaimer, Luke Petersmith sent me this game. He's working with All the Rock, and he's one of my best friends. I love the guy, so I certainly am biased in that respect. That being said, Luke wouldn't involve me if he didn't think it had a legit solo, and he's absolutely right. The Dead Reckoning solo experience offers, first of all, it offers everything that the multiplayer game offers. I got 3 games in a multiplayer, and I didn't lose to my daughter once, no matter what she says. Okay, she totally crushed me. So we got some games in the multiplayer, and then I would play solo, and the experience does capture what I was looking for in the solo game. The way the solo works is there are some cards here that will tell you what they're going to do, and what's nice about it is that there's not too much. It's not too much of a load on the solo player to perform a whole turn. Okay, you do have an artificial intelligence opponent. They will take actions. They will collect cards. They will do all the things that you do on your turn. But it's super easy. So let's in the beginning of the game here, turns 1 through 3. Right now they're just going to sail to this space and collect the upgrade card that's on that space. Nice and easy. Okay. On later turns, they might do something like gain a ship upgrade. They might even attack you with that little pirate ship flag. Okay? But those are real straightforward and easy to do. You don't have to do any kind of decision matrix to decide what they're going to do. It's just bang, they do this. Okay? That decision process, or that mode of a solo decision is not without its drawbacks. Mainly that their ship just kind of teleports around. There's not a lot of planning that you can do for the AI's turn. That's the one major difference, right? So if you're playing against a human opponent and you know that they haven't put too many sails in their deck, if you go way to the other side of the ocean layout, they're not going to probably get to you. So you're safe from an attack. So that's the one drawback. That's not uncommon, though, with an AI. They have to cheat somehow to be good because they're lacking the human decision-making power. What does balance out nicely is that the AI will be different each time you play. So what happens is, as they tell you where the AI boat skips around to, which cards it collects, it makes a couple piles. One's called the merchant pile, and one's called the pirate pile. He says, hoping those terms are correct. Basically, everything that has a battle ability or a cannon on it goes into one pile, and everything else goes into the merchant pile. So if a card comes up that says they're going to attack you, you look at all those cannons they've collected, and they're going to use those many cubes, that many cubes, in the cool little pirate ship dice tower that blasts out onto the board here. Okay, that works out nicely because at the very least you can look at the stacks and say, you know what, I gotta at least be prepared for trouble. I'm gonna go try and repair my damage to my ship. I'm gonna go back and use my crew and trade resources to repair my ship, just because I might get sunk if this cannon wielding AI comes my way. Okay. You might also see that their merchant stack is just incredibly thick, and they're going to race you to the coin achievement, and they're going to make a lot of money that way without having to work too much. So in that respect, the AI is going to behave differently depending on what they just randomly gather over the course of the game, which is really nice. You can't just plan a certain way to try to knock the AI out. The other thing is there's not too many meta strategies that you can use to just cheat. So, for example, in some games that are exploration-based, if you just intentionally don't explore and limit the world, you can exploit the weaknesses in the random choice for the AI. Not the case here, because if they are supposed to place an influence marker on a tile and it's unexplored, they just automatically explore it and they get the credit for exploring it and things like that. So easily adjusted, I should say, in the game itself, where you can't just box them in by virtue of not exploring. So you got to pretty much play it straight. The other thing that's nice is the strength of this game, even in the multiplayer game, is the fact that it has so many different available paths. And even in the rule books themselves, which I really appreciate, by the way, they give you a little bit of guidance, right? So if you want to be a pirate, make sure you update your captain so you can attack, but update your gunners and probably your crew to do some repairs, right? If you're going to try to develop islands, then you need a first mate, but you also need some good ways to collect resources. So maybe you do your purser as well and collect resources from the islands. Those strategies are right in the back of the book, and those are available to you in the solo mode. You don't have to feel constrained to just the way that works. And in fact, I find myself playing games the same way. Like once I find something that works, I want to do it again, but just better. So the last time I played solo, and I'm on my 6th solo play, 4 on the base difficulty, and then I just upgraded the difficulty, which is really easy. So they come with the normal side, and then you just de-sleeve and re-sleeve them, and then you have the harder difficulty side. So I flipped 9 of them to the harder difficulty side, so that's like sort of medium, right? If you flip the other 9 random cards to the difficulty side, you can keep, it doesn't have to be 9, you can adjust that slider as much as you want. Anyway, I played 4 on the easy difficulty, 2 on the harder difficulty, and I tend to love the Buccaneer. So the Buccaneer, what he does is he upgrades several times. Eventually, you can put 4 resource or 4 influence markers out on islands at a time. I'm a big island control guy. I want those points, those end game coins for controlling the islands. And so the second time I played on the harder difficulty, I wanted to force myself to do something different. So I said, no matter what I do, I cannot upgrade my Buccaneer. And if you remember from playing any of the card crafting games, or if you saw some of the videos, at the end of each turn, you can take your card out of the sleeve and rotate it to its new upgraded level. So the Buccaneer starts out at 1 influence cube, then goes 2, 3, and 4. So I said, no matter what happens, I can't upgrade that, and I got to try something new. And even just doing that little change, a little self-challenge, it changed the game quite a bit. That's unnecessary, though. That's just the way I do things. I put artificial limits on myself to sort of stretch myself. The game itself offers you different chances to play, because you'll go in thinking, all right, today I'm going to grab every sail achievement or every sail upgrade I can possibly find. Maybe I'll build some. Maybe I'll grab the advancements off the board. I'm going to sail all over the place, collect resources, and just salt this game away as fast as possible. And then like everything that comes up is a merchant ship that you can fight or some cannons. Are you telling me here that it's time to go pirate, right? So as much as you might have a strategy in mind, there's a large tactical element to the game, which does suit me very well. Some folks that are more strategy oriented, right? That slider of how far ahead can you plan and how much do you have to react to the situation. Folks that are real big planners might feel something, this is not it's not a game of chess, really, where every single move is laid out if you know the right sequences, because as soon as different cards come out, as soon as the cubes fire out other broadside cannons, things are going to shake out really differently. And to me, I like that. I like the ability to adapt to a situation as it's presented to you. So this is right up my alley. Some other things about the game itself. I certainly showed you that little dice tower, the broadside cannon resolution system. The theme integration is really strong. And not just because, those broadside cannons are basically like shotguns, right? Where you kind of shot it near the ship and just hoped it hit something. So when you resolve it, maybe you knock loose some cargo or some coins. Maybe you do some damage. Maybe the crowns are just your ability to win the fight. It doesn't mean you sank the ship, but maybe your whole goal was to waylay them, or you want to knock their sails out, or you want to knock some cargo off. So this sort of esoteric win condition is another one of the things that you can get. So that resolves somewhat randomly, but the more cannons you have and the more abilities you have, the more you're going to get out of those battles. So it felt thematically right. We're going to go get into this ridiculous haphazard battle here, But if someone like my daughter goes in with 12 cannons to my 3, she's probably going to rake lots of resources and stuff and might end up sinking my ship. Okay. Um, Similarly, some of the other integration, the idea of, even in the rule book where it says, when you're setting your sails, when you're determining how far you can sail each round, okay, if you have cargo in your holds, those sort of negate your sails, so you can't set your sails as far. So what you can do is unload stuff onto an island you control or the harbor, set your sails, and then load your ship up. So it says that specifically in the rules, like, just think about it this way. If you're on an island you control, set your sails to full as if you unloaded and reload. They sort of have thought it through enough to answer those thematic questions, which I love. I love the investment in time that you see when game players make a game, right? So it's like, when you start playing in this, like, why can I sail further from an island I control? Oh, because you just unload, unfurl your sails, you're ready to go, and then you reload. It works out that way. It's, oh, okay, sure, yeah. Other little things like, when you are upgrading your ship, you have to do it in the harbor and pay there. But if you're building on an island, they could be resources you have anywhere. They could be from your harbor or your ship. Sure, that makes sense to me, right? If I'm upgrading my ship, I need to have it with me. But if I'm going to go build on another island somewhere, any resources I have can be used for that. Just little things like that just seem to fit. The one purser who allows you to produce on an island, the captain who can command you to sail faster or attack. It just all fits really nicely. I appreciate that as someone who plays so many solo games and seeks out rich themes. I'm not even a big pirate theme guy, to be honest with you. When Luke first approached me with it, and he said, "Hey, this is a sort of a 4X pirate thing," I'm like, "Really?" I'm not saying I dislike the pirate theme. I could just take it or leave it, and it's perfect. It fits so great because it's not just pirates. You can be merchants. You can be, and that's what's appealing to me about it. I don't want to be redundant, but the fact that you can do so many different things is spectacular. Other things that I really liked about just the game itself, and I mentioned this a second ago, is that it's clearly made by people that play games. And there's no better example for this than a missing corner, all right? This is my evidence for how well this game is done, okay? Here's one of the island tiles. You put 12 of these tiles out, 3 of them are face up, the rest of them are face down, and they're all tucked together. They sort of make your modular board, okay? Anybody who's ever played a game before that has to flip over a tile, you have to nudge all the other ones out of the way, grab the tile, flip it over, and then put everything back together, right? No, you just leave a corner out. So now you just hold the other tiles down, grab this thing with your finger. It's perfect. It makes so much sense. It's just one of those things, and it sounds like a ridiculous thing to highlight in a video, right? But this little missing corner is just a testament to how thoughtful so much of this stuff is. Your coin amount is secret, so you get your own personal treasure chest. And I don't usually sell the upgrade, not since I stopped waiting tables. But the metal coins, oh my gosh, they make all the difference in the world. Having these chunky coins that you drop into your treasure chest, oh, that's so satisfying. So the toy factor is pretty high, but in a good way. There's certainly games where I felt a waste of time getting stuff out of the box, right? Like, why am I even wasting my time setting this up when it's just basically a playmat or whatever? The toy factor is pretty high. I mean, you have little flames for damage. You have the cargo barrels here. Like I said, the metal coins, a treasure chest. Even your ship, you can set to pirate mode. So you drop in your pirate flag. Of course, I should get it straight for the video, right? You drop in your pirate flag to alert your opponents that if they stop on your space, they're in for a fight. All those things just fit, and it feels right. It feels good. It's certainly extra, right? I mean, that giant pirate ship dice tower is as extra as it comes. But it feels awesome to just dump those dice in, or pardon me, dump the cubes in, have them spit out everywhere, and just see what happened in this like chaotic battle. It feels really great. So, hearty positive review for Dead Reckoning overall, and a a strong recommendation for all my solo folks out there. I don't back games without solo anymore because most of my time is on my game table at night when everyone goes to bed. This game, again, I played it 6 times solo in the, I don't know, 9 days I've had the game, and I'm looking forward. I won my first game of medium, so I told myself I had to win one more time before I can upgrade to hard and flip 9 more of those cards to the hard side. So as soon as I get done with this, I'm going to go set up again and play some more. I have only positive things to say about it, and that's even before the Sea Dogs expansion that takes your pirates and sort of specializes them even further. And so you have a campaign, you go from mission to mission or scenario to scenario. Between those things, you can mix in some of these new Sea Dogs, which are just, again, upgraded captains or upgraded cards. And then the sagas offer more things. So in the base game, the only encounters you have are with merchant ships that you can either trade with, basically pay your cargo to, or fight. And one of the big things that the sagas offer are new encounters, which I'm so excited to see. So I've been gently coercing Luke to sending me the saga stuff. So when I had that stuff in hand, I'm going to play through, and you can look for a big write-up of the campaign style things and the sagas. But in the meantime, there's a couple days left on the Kickstarter. Again, this is just a full-throated recommendation for me. Even without my attachments to the good people that are putting the game together, it's just very, very solid. Solid multiplayer, right depth, right length. It really hit all the marks for me, and a fantastic solo. So thank you for taking the time. Check the project out. It's got a couple days left on Kickstarter. Do make sure you take care of each other and yourself. All right.